Hi there guys, this is Nash from Tesla and the Gong, and we have heard this argument a fair number of times where people say, well, the electricity that you're using is actually dirty electricity because it comes from the grid. Well, today we're going to see if we can charge our cars directly from sun juice. So my house has an 8.6 kilowatt system. I'm going to see if I can use just that to charge my Tesla Model 3 long range 2021 version. Let's see how this goes. Alright, a little preface here. As you can see, I am at a low state of charge. 46 kilometers is what I have in my battery, and that is about 8% in my car, which is the long range 2021 Model 3. As you can see, I have scheduled charging set up, which I'm going to override in just a bit. Now, I'm supposed to leave at 7 a.m. tomorrow, that is Monday, but right now it is Sunday at 9:30 a.m. The sun is out, and my panels, I'm sure, are producing a fair bit of energy, so I'm going to see if I can use that directly here. Although I don't need it because I have the AGL deal and AGL has a lot of renewable energy, I still want to show this to you guys if you want to use just the sun juice or whatever your house produces to charge your Teslas. It might take a little longer, but it's absolutely clean energy, alright? Let's see this. Alright, there was no way I could have charged the car at 16 amps because at 16 amps the car will draw 12 kilowatts of power, as you saw in my previous video. So I had to dial this down to 8 amps, and although the charge time goes up to 11 hours and 45 minutes, the car will now only draw 6 kilowatts, which is definitely manageable. But in hindsight, I should have dialed it down even further, maybe 6 amps or so. But hey, isn't that what experiments are for? Well, I had to wait for my Powerwall to get to 100% because the power company that I work with gives me a $1 a day EV car plan where I can charge all my cars at $1 a day, but they mandate that the Powerwall supplies the charger so that the Powerwall will be depleted first. So I had to wait for the Powerwall to get to 100% and then change from self-powered mode to standby mode. You can see that my solar is producing 5.6 kilowatts. My house is only drawing 0.5 kilowatts and I'm sending back 5.1 kilowatts to the grid. Well, this is going to change now because I'm going to start charging the car now. The app says over 11 hours of charging is required, and even in summer months we do not get 11 hours of sunshine here in Australia, so I had to dial down the charging percentage to 70%. The house now draws 6.5 kilowatts with 0.8 kilowatts coming from the grid. At the 75 kilometers mark, you can see that 0.3 kilowatts is coming from the grid and 6.1 kilowatts coming from the solar panels. At about 1:30 p.m., we have 157 kilometers added to the car, 0.4 kilowatts coming from the grid, and 6.3 kilowatts coming from the solar panels. At this time, the app says 5 hours and 35 minutes to go to reach 70%. And by about 4 p.m., we have added 261 kilometers to the car. The draw from the grid is a little bit more, with 1.2 kilowatts coming from the grid, and solar is producing 5.3 kilowatts. Obviously, the sun is starting to go down at this time. At 5 p.m., we have added 306 kilometers to the car. Now it's half and half, 3.8 kilowatts coming from solar and 3.3 kilowatts coming from the grid. 2 hours and 10 minutes to go. At nearly 7 p.m., we have 382 kilometers in the car, up from 62 kilometers that we started with. Solar is only marginally contributing to this with 1.9 kilowatts and 4.6 kilowatts coming from the grid. 25 minutes to go. Alright, the sun is now low on the horizon, and obviously the charge is going to go down at this time. It is 7:30 p.m. and that is the end of this charging session. It took us 8 hours and 22 minutes to go from 12% to 70% with loads of sunshine, and 398 kilometers is what we have in the car. And because now I've filled the car, I wanted to change back to self-powered mode, and the sun is still producing some energy. I still have 0.3 kilowatts of energy coming from the sun. So here in Australia, it is an absolute no-brainer to have every single roof that we have to be filled with solar panels producing a lot of juice. The man who knows a lot about that is my good mate Adam from Tesla Australia. He's made a fabulous video. I'm going to link that in the description of this, where he talks about how he is a near total producer of solar energy for the entire of the Central Coast. I'm just joking there, but that's what he's doing. He's filled his entire house with solar panels, and you should watch this to get more perspective on what this is all about. A quick shout out to Phantom Lane 4. Every Wednesday at 9 p.m. we go live. Let's fire up the Enphase app, and this will tell you how much of sun juice we produced, how much we consumed, the net exported and imported kilowatt hours, and let's choose the appropriate date, which is 10th of Jan, and let's choose the appropriate time as well, which is at 11 a.m. when we started this experiment. Now, if you scroll through this graph, which is set at a quarter of an hour increment, you'll know the net imported kilowatt hour energy. This also gives you an idea of the amount of power that is produced, consumed, and imported. Now, do remember, this is everything that the house is doing, including charging the car and the household appliances that are running. I know that my house consumes between 0.4 to 0.7 kilowatts. When I logged into Telescope, I found out that we put back inside 44.95 kilowatt hours of energy for this charging session. So if you amalgamate both data, we can glean that 15.5 kilowatt hours of energy has come from the grid and 29.45 kilowatt hours of energy has come from sun juice. Could this number have been better? I certainly think so. If I had dropped the charge rate to 6 amps, like I had mentioned in the earlier part of this video, or if I had started a little earlier in the day, the number could have been better. Unfortunately, I had to wait for the Powerwall to reach 100% state of charge because of the way my charger is rigged. But even so, I think this is a great win for solar power. Now, thank you very much for watching. If you like what I'm doing, please click on that subscribe button and click on that bell icon to get notifications of my video as soon as they drop. If you are in the lookout for a sexy of your own, an S, 3X or Y, please consider using my referral code. Until I see you guys in another interesting video, this is Nash from Tesla and the Gong, signing off. Peace.